As ready as we're going to be.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Unfiltered Vet Discussions. We're already having fun before pushing the record button because we like to enjoy each other's company and have fun. So if you find us laughing today, please join in with us because we're talking about the four-letter word, and you can just pause a minute and think about how many four-letter words in the weight of that statement, right? And what letter it starts with. But ours starts with the letter T today. And the four-letter word is time. What is that? What are we talking about? So, we've decided that time is a great word to talk about because we really don't take time for ourselves. We don't take time to stop to do things that brings us enjoyment or happiness. And if you don't take it, boom, it's gone. Like you think, I don't have time, I'll push it down the road, or I maybe don't have the money, or I don't have, right?
Well, Kelly, what we really need to do is take time to welcome our listeners and to suggest that they follow us and listen to us on Spotify and
What?
Apple and all of the different things that we normally take the time to do at the beginning of the podcast.
I, when you were talking about the four-letter word, I instantly went to that other four-letter word that begins with an F, and it made me. The analogy was spot on because it made me think of Roy Kent and Ted Lasso and how many different ways he could say that word and all the derivatives and the meaning. Time's kind of that way as well, because sometimes you're getting beat up by it. Sometimes it's flying by. When you want it to go slow, it goes fast, and vice versa. It's a multifaceted word and element, but so impactful. And yeah, beforehand we were talking about good use of time and bad use of time, and even in a veterinary practice, right? Getting caught up in the day to day and not making time to work on your business and
Huh.
assessing things. Of course, we can't make time. We
Wouldn't that
only
be
have so
nice
much of it.
sometime?
Oh,
Right? It's the one thing that we can't go and buy off the shelves and go, hey, I'm gonna need an extra hour here today,
right?
right?
Don't they say invest in real estate? They're not making more of it. Well, invest in time because you're
Just in
only
time.
running through it, spending that out. But
But
yeah,
it's funny, all the different movies and books that talk about time machines. And could we
Mm-hmm.
go back in time? And then if you, Back to the Future,
Oh yeah.
or all the movies that Jules Verne, The Time Machine,
yeah,
I think was Jules Verne. Um, so we're so interested in time that we read about it and we imagine it, but we can't control it, or can we? And I think so, David, you talked about business, but what about personal time? What
yeah.
about in so many veterinary hospitals that I talk to, and you as well, I'm sure, the two of you, the last person to schedule their time off, quote unquote, time off, is the owner.
Yep.
And who should the first person to schedule their time off and have everybody work around their schedule is the owner. So they're the last ones to put on the oxygen mask while they're taking care of everybody else. And as a result, they're the ones who ultimately suffer in so many different ways. And so as we use the four-letter word time, it's really about taking time for yourself.
Yeah.
Because if you don't take care of you, there won't be a you to take care of everybody else.
You
And
know,
and that's kind of an underlying theme when I think back of all of our discussions.
yeah.
We come back to that, the mental wellness, the safety, the security, and providing that space. And that includes investing your time in yourself. And guilty is charged.
Guilty.
Um, yeah.
Guilty. I try
Yeah.
better. I mean, but thinking like when you give your employees time off, who's watching the desk over the holidays? A few of us, and I'm always one of them, because I want my employees to have that time off, right? But it's awkward. Let's talk about the emotions of taking care of yourself because it's easy to say for us to say doing it. But like for me, when I try to take time, there's emotions that are behind it, which are why the reasons a lot of us don't take time for ourselves, right? Because you feel guilty, you feel awkward, you feel like you don't deserve it, that it's your responsibility as the owner to,
Yeah.
let your employees have that time because you want to give them a good life quality work because you feel that's how you want to run your business. And the list can go on, but there's emotions behind the why I don't take time for myself or I don't buy the Lego set we were talking about in taking an evening for ourselves. I remember one of my teammates was like having a lot of family pressures, external family pressures. They didn't live with him. And he's like, you know what I'm going to say? I'm busy tonight. And you know what I'm busy with? A cup of tea and a book. He goes, but I'm busy. I'm already booked, literally, with a book. They don't need to know that. But he booked himself out of the family
Yeah.
drama by saying he was booked and took the time. Crazy,
It's
right?
it is interesting. I don't have any employees except for Bruce, and he's
Bruce,
sleeping on the job right now.
Bruce is the best employee.
He looks good in those. No, anyhow.
Yeah.
Um, but so when I take time off, I really should be able to separate myself from everything because really, outside of business partners who will know when I'm gone, um, I don't have to answer to anybody.
Yeah.
On the other hand, I think that I have to answer to everybody. And that's part of the problem that I believe we have. David, essentially, you own your own business. Of course, you're within a larger global environment,
Yeah.
but you could, in a similar fashion, disconnect. But if I remember our conversations, you have MacGyvered a van so you can drive around. That will also allow you to have access whenever you can to connect to the world. We really do need to cut the Wi-Fi to our house and
Yeah.
to ourselves every once in a while so that we can actually take a deep breath. And I joke, and I think I talked about in a podcast I did with Vetfolio recently, that David, when you and I and Kelly speak to an audience, and we get done after that 50 minutes in Q&A, or even during it, they have their phones out and they're checking what's going on at the hospital.
Mhm.
Mhm.
And then it breaks, they will call and see what's going on. So even when they are paying for an educational experience, they are not able to disconnect from their workplace. So they're still working in their business when they really should be working on their
On it.
business.
And how
Yeah,
much
I
do you
know I'm
remember?
guilty as charged. I'm heading out tomorrow in the van with Susan and the boys, and we're heading up to visit friends and tour, kind of making a trip up to Maine and then back down to Boston and home for a week. But, you know, clients need help and things don't fall under a schedule. So I've got calls and internet and email I've got to do. And so it's not a complete disconnect. Um, Embarrassingly, even what, 2 years ago when I was in the Antarctic, I had Wi-Fi. My clients didn't know that's where I was, but I'm still infrequently, but a couple emails every day that by nature of the work came pretty close to disconnecting and still was able to and had great times. But, then you got to go back and just make sure nothing's broken.
So wait a
Um,
minute. Did they use like Starlink or something on the boat?
Oh, I'm sure they probably had satellite something. Yeah.
Because I mean, just there's not a lot of cell towers out there
Now, when the first time I was down there, there was no internet, but that was 30 years ago.
because there
There
wasn't
was
internet.
internet, but just not on ships. That was educational.
Yeah, well, there was actually Antarctica 30 years ago.
Yeah. This
It's
is
half,
true.
half of it's probably melted away. You want to take and drive your kids crazy, David? When we went to Africa 3 years ago, we had 3 or 4 days out where there was no internet and all the electricity was generated. So yeah, there's an anxiety. Tell me if I'm incorrect, but there's an anxiety that
Yeah.
builds up
Yes.
as you wonder what you're gonna turn on, tune in, turn on, and be thrown at when you get from that standpoint.
Oh, for sure. I mean, it is for the boys. I see that, and even for Susan. But for me, it's different. It's not social. What did I miss? It's I know I'm going to check email, and there's going to be when you're doing 50, 100 emails a day, missing one day is just it is anxiety producing.
So Kelly, what do you do for fun in your spare time,
Yeah. Other than the, farmers market.
which is
Mhm.
really not spare time?
No, but man, is that does fill up my heart bucket. It's that farmer's market. It's so much fun, but that is work. I like to travel to different places and explore and see. I like really connecting with people and learning about people in different parts of the world. And I am also trying to figure out a greenhouse right now and
Ooh.
growing plants in there and not killing everything. So that mentally keeps me, it's like a large Lego project that also has living things in it.
Yeah.
So, because they tell you how to build it, they don't tell you how to run it. So the running part has been kind of like, oh,
Details,
a little
details.
bit. And then, of course, because I'm like A plus 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 personality, I had to keep it running all year, including 24 below. So, which I did, but and not break the bank with like heat bills and things like that. I mean, I had qualifications in part of the puzzle project. Um, so I do that, and then I enjoy raising a kid and everything that goes with family life. Um, so yeah, I don't like doing boredom. I started a nonprofit too this year, so that helped. Learned all about that. Um, Writing a book, things like that, you know.
You're filling your time. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I don't like being bored. I decided that I'm more of a creator. So what brings me joy is creating things, be it creating things on the internet, creating connections between people, like this podcast, creating things that are growing, and that when I'm bored, I'm stressed. And other people like being bored and call that relaxing, but for me, that stresses me out because I have too much energy and I need it to go someplace. Um, so yeah, and if I get bored with any of those things, I'm sure I'll come up with a new thing. But right now, the dance card is full and I'm okay with it. I'm busier now with Kalina in college, although she's home right now, than when she was here on her schedule of life.
Nature
So,
abhors a vacuum. Excuse me, Kelly
yeah.
abhors a vacuum.
Yes,
So
exactly.
is that why the perception of time going faster as we get older is that we're filling it with more and more things. We're trying to squeeze more and more in work-wise. When we're not working, we have more and more stuff. We have a house to take care of. We got the lawn to take care of. We've got more family because friends have kids and kids have kids, and there's just more things to fit into the schedule.
I think
And we have to
it's
move quicker to get it all done. Does that make the time go by quicker?
maybe for us three, but then I'm going to argue on the flip side, right? We have an assisted living place in our tiny town. It's new, and I called them up and said, is anybody capable due to physical, mental constraints to be a greeter at the farmer's
Mm-hmm.
market? Just to sit there like a Walmart greeter, but no shopping carts. Just sit there, welcome people, like sort of down. And we have Mickey. Mickey's in a mechanical wheelchair. Apparently, he got hit by a train in a truck in 2013 and he lived through it. He is so bored. He is like, sign me up all summer. This is the best. He goes, I can't wait. And I said, we'll get you an official t-shirt. He's like, really? I'm like, really? We'll get you an official shirt. He goes, yeah. And he goes, well, I may not be able to stay the whole time because I start to hurt. I'm like, this is volunteer. You come, fill up your bucket. You can motorize the 2 blocks back to the senior place. But where are our choices? The three of us in our room are choosing not to be bored, to fill up our time, to keep exploring. Because if
Yeah.
I stop doing that, I start feeling like, you mentally die, regardless of what age. Like my dad retired 3 times. The first time he was 55. It lasted a nanosecond because he goes, I'm bored and I'm not, I need it. So he went back to work. Like it runs in the genetics, apparently. But then there's people like Mickey who can't do as much because of physical limitations, but wants to.
Yeah.
It is interesting. I'll probably hit on about 18 topics in the next 30 seconds, but it is interesting because my father-in-law is in an assisted living. He's 84. His mind is fully functional. Um, his body's just got wear and tear, and he's got macular degeneration, so vision is an issue. But those senior citizen residencies keep you busy. They have an entire schedule from day to day, week to week, including external excursions that people can go to. So they theoretically are trying to make sure that people don't just waste away
Right.
with nothing to
Right.
do because they are given a choice to do different things. Yes, it's bingo. Yes, it's blackjack and poker. And yes, it's happy hours and everything else. But it is interesting how many people who are given those opportunities to choose from an entire menu of the world. The world is their oyster. I don't know where that quote came from, but anyhow, um, choose to do nothing.
Yeah.
Yes.
On the other hand, the three of us and the others who join us frequently on our podcast are so strapped for time because we choose to do everything that we will even take on new things when we know sure as stuff
Stuff.
we shouldn't take on
Good
another.
catch.
I joke, my dad retired at 88 only because he couldn't work anymore because cancer was eating him away.
Hmm.
I joke that I have a 24 letter alphabet. I'm not missing AI. I have AI. I'm missing NO
Yeah.
because I don't know how to use them. And that's how the three of us are.
Yeah, it's true.
It's hard.
It's hard but it's exciting to stay engaged. It's exciting to see what's around the corner. I mean, I get just probably like you guys, I get something back from it or I wouldn't do it
Right.
because I don't have patience for bologna sandwiches. So, BS, right? So, see, you got that one right. I don't, but what is life about? And I think everybody needs to choose that. How do you want to live today? I write
Yeah.
about that in my book. How do you want to live today? Because we get to choose it. We don't get to choose, I get to me a jackpot winner. I don't mean that. I mean, when you get up in the morning, what are your experiences that you're going to live? And if you don't like using your time that way, then why are you using the time
Yeah.
that way? If you're pissed off and angry at work all the time, my question is, then why are you doing it?
Yeah. Why keep doing it?
I do think that one of the messages that should come out of this is that we, global we, not the three of us, we need to find distractions. We need to find hobbies. We need to find something that is not work. And I am also not suggesting that we over imbibe or overindulge in legal or illegal sources. But I am suggesting that whether it is meditation, whether it is working out, whether it is working out and meditating, whether it is reading, whether it is doing Legos, etc., that finding a distraction to clear your mind, so-called cerebral enema, of the crap that has accumulated throughout the day, allows you to go back like with an etch a sketch where you shake it and it all goes away and you start it, or that thing that you used to write on and you would lift it and it would erase everything. We need to be doing that in our businesses and in our minds so we have a clean, fresh slate, and we have more space on our hard drive, because I think many of us fill in our hard drive um, with things that need to be erased and defragmented, and empty your trash every once in a while.
Mm-hmm. And what fills your heart bucket? Because if it's full of crap, the heart bucket doesn't get full. Because, like you said, it's full already, Peter, with crap, right? So what warms you up and makes you shine like a sun with
Yeah.
joy? And it's okay to feel joy, by the way.
Yeah, I think you need it in both sides, on the business side, because I get it. For me, disc golf, it used to be motorcycling. For others, it's fishing, where you're doing what you're doing 100%, completely immersed in it. It lets everything else blow off. And we do that personally and come back recharged. But I think you can do that in the business side too,
I do too.
that separate yourself from the day to day, going from fire to fire to fire, setting aside time, as you said in the E-Myth book you wrote, that to work on the business. But that could be something small that you 100% immerse yourself in, reading the 1 Minute Manager again, or another text that, like Nicole Clausen's inventory management for the veterinary profession. Just dive into inventory. Let all the rest of the business fall aside. The business is going to benefit. Your mental for the work side of who you are can focus, and then you can get back into it. And we need to do that personally and professionally to continue to grow.
Well, what about
And
us, Pete,
yeah,
David, right here? We all carve out once a week to meet out of our lives as much as we can based on travel schedules and commitments and whatnot to do the podcast, right? We commit because we care about each other. We care about the time. We get
yeah,
something out of it emotionally from doing this. And we were talking on the last recording, or maybe the one before, of how to network with your compatriots in town. Like,
hmm
just reach out to the other veterinary hospitals. They're not your enemy. Like, they can be your strength, not your weakness, right? And even meet on Zoom if you can't go to the coffee shop, right? Like, commit to networking, or like we were talking about the BM and G groups, how they're working and people connect
Yeah.
twice a year. And that was on another podcast, but they make a commitment to connect.
investing their time for that
Mhm.
100% immersion while you're all together. That you
Mhm.
only have so much time. Where are you choosing to spend it? And if you're not choosing, you're still spending it. I talk with the boys about it because they lay on the couch. It's summer and they're doing I'm like, that's what you're choosing to do. And at the end of the day, what'd you do? Oh, nothing. Yeah. But that's
Mhm.
your choice, right?
You're
Is
nicer
that
about it
is
with
that
the
what you
boys.
want for tomorrow?
Yeah, you're nicer with the boys than that.
David, let me add a suggestion to business owners if they don't really want to go read a book or something like that. You can go from student, which gives something to you, but also to teacher, which gives
Yeah.
something to you and to somebody else, and to pay it forward within your practice. And so, if we really want to help grow our businesses, we should be looking at each of our employees as students as well, and start to share the institutional knowledge that you have received from experience, from school, from whatever, and make them more successful through teaching. Oh, you know what we call that? We call that training. Let's call it something else. Let's call it education, whether it's a book club or whether it's a let's learn how to look at radiographs together or whatnot. Let's not focus on just um, correcting mistakes. Let's focus on teaching so that there's a value added to your team, which allows you to have more time to focus on you, because now you can entrust your team to get things done that were all dependent upon you in the past.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of you train a dog, you teach people. Uh, It's
Hey, don't tell Bruce you're going to train him. Tell him you're going to take.
you
All
can't
right,
train the
wait.
cats. So Abbott and Dar are not trainable.
No, I know Jenny actually does a book club in her hospital. Like, we'll buy books for everybody to read and then we'll talk about it at some
Yeah,
point. So I know
growth and
she's,
development.
yeah, she's done that and really focuses on that. Um, but it's true. It's true. So, time. We've all decided that we need to manage it better. And that all starts internally with yourself. And you have to work through the big emotions that are going around it. I mean, because you can put a nod towards it. And also, I'm going to say a commitment. So if you're at a professional speaking or a conference and you're getting your CEs, why don't you make a commitment to yourself to invest in that moment, right? Put your phone down. Or if you're going to go fly fishing, put your phone down. Like little things, like what are the commitments, right? Family dinners for us means your phones are on the counters. Like there are no phones at the dinner table for family dinners. We don't care if the house is on fire. There is no phones at the
Yeah,
family, right? So what are your little commitments to get the meaning out of those time commitments?
yeah, it's awareness.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Turn
So
off the
there's an
TV.
interesting thought. We were commenting before we got on about how as we get older, time seems to be going faster, the hourglass. And in reality, it kind of is because when you are 20 years old, 1 year is 5% of your life. And when you're 50 years old, 1 year is 2% of your life. And so we really are going through where a single year represents a much smaller fraction of our total life, but it's going through so quickly. The sand is getting smaller as we go through.
yeah,
It's going from rocks to sand to whatever is smaller than sand, moon sand or something like that. So it is, as I, look at what my future has, and I start to think about how I want to control some of my destiny. Um, it's really about putting yourself and prioritizing. We've got a trip to Africa scheduled this year. I've got a trip already booked or planned to go to the UK next year,
nice.
and other things. So it's getting those things on the calendar when you can. And there's a whole list of things that I want to do that have nothing to do with the longer list of things that I have to do. And I think
Yeah,
it's the want to do list, the nice to do list, that we really should be looking at more often than the need to do list. And you should have both lists.
yeah. A friend and colleague in a management group, great leader, and what he would do at the start of every year is always, I was like, I need to do that. I need to do that. I just haven't. But sit down with the calendar and family and block off the whole next year. What are the non-work days? What are the family and personal days? And each year try to get more.
Hmm.
And as I, whereas I don't plan that far out, not as keen on it, those days don't happen as frequently as they should. Note to self, get better.
Well, it's like last night I said, Sharon, when do you want to go to the movies this weekend? We go see the Star Wars
Oh
Mandalorian
yeah.
and Grogu. And I said, Saturday or Sunday, pick a day. And she does what every good wife does, say, well, which do you want to do? I said, I asked you. Don't answer a question with a question. But, you know, I will work my life around trying to find that 2 to 3 hours in the movie theater, which to me is really the phone is off and I don't,
Yeah.
I should really go to the movies every weekend all the time, but I don't. So it really is sitting down and planning and thinking and taking care of number one, or as they say on the airplane, put the oxygen mask on first and then take care of the people around you.
Yeah. Doing it intentionally. Another underlying theme of our discussions here. Awareness and intent.
Yep.
Yeah, and we're just being honest that we're working on it ourselves too, the three of us.
Work in progress.
We
Yep.
we haven't mastered it, but we're aware of it, and we know that we need to work on it all the time, right? Like all the time. That we're constantly. I don't think it's something you just have a checkbox and go, "Yep, I mastered this. It's done. I've got it." Right? Move on. Yeah, I don't because life throws in weird curves and twists and turns. And then, I also think too, like my mom's going to be 85 this year, right? We have older relatives and things. What memories do I want to make? Because I know she won't be here in 30 years. That's just not physically possible right now. It would be great if it was, but I don't have 30 more years with my mom when she's 85. The math doesn't math. So stopping besides the calendar year, just thinking what memories do I want to make with certain people while they're still able to have those memories, because you may not get those back or the opportunities to get those back.
I also want to do a shout out to Eric Garcia, who has, I believe, an ebook on getting off the grid
Oh,
and just
good.
totally disconnecting. Um,
Perfect.
I, I just uh, I just think those types of resources that hopefully can nudge you, push you to just make one small effort, whether it's a weekend, a week, or a month, to disconnect and recognize that the world will still be there when you get back. Now, will you need a bigger shovel? Yes. But the world will still be there when you get back, and you just have to do a little bit more digging to get down to what's really important, of which 98%, and correct me if I'm wrong, David, correct me if I'm wrong, Kelly, 98% of what we don't address is crap. There's about 1 to 2% that really needs our attention. And if it's family, they know where to find you.
Mm-hmm.
And if it's work, it can wait.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'd have to agree.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
the shovel doesn't have to be too big.
And on
So,
that note, I got to get back
yes,
to
I was going
work.
to say, I think we just wrapped up here. So,
I'm out of time.
take time to like and follow us because that helps us reach more people. So, the more people who like and follow us, it changes the algorithm. So, more people hear about us and our pearls of wisdom, which you guys are all happy about. Yep. Like
There it
60
is.
minutes. That is like the 60 minutes clock right there. It is. Um, we're going to wish you adieu and do something for you. Take this, just take a hot second and go, I just listened to them and I'm going to go do something for myself. Even it's a new cup of tea, walking around the block, going to Target and buying the latest Lego set. Like, there's something, right? It's good. So, the Royal Wave, guys, Royal Wave. And we will all
Thank you.
catch up with you later.
If you have time.